We got our next inventor, Jim Gurule. Jim, welcome to the show, Jim.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. Hey, Matt, how you doing today? So, hey, I just want to start off by thanking both of you for what you guys do. I somehow we connected, JD, and I've been listening to your stuff, and I wish I had this, 20 years ago. So I really, really value the stuff you're putting out and how valuable it is to inventors or want to be inventors, potential inventors, just really great stuff. So thank you for having me today.
You bet. I'm hoping that, we have a couple live listeners now, but maybe if I just get through episode 300, maybe then we'll break out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for those that are listening, maybe now or after the fact, you bet. There's a lot of benefit to hearing from other fellow inventors. So you've been at this for a while. You're a domain expert now.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Well, that's good. What domain is that, good sir?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've been doing, my entire career is all related to the kitchen cabinets or kitchen renovation. So, even my patent life was never my full-time gig. I always had something related, but it's all related to the kitchen cabinet industry. So that's the short answer. And at this stage in my career, I'm still doing inventions, but it's all related to solving just bigger problems within our industry. And I'll be more specific later about if you're interested in that. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, yeah, I think we should show off some of what you've done, at least in terms of the patent world. And we were here in the Gold Patent Show after all. So I'll pull up your, this one is an early one. I think is now expired.
Yeah, this is my first one. It's expired a few years ago.
Right. Two-way dual action clamp.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. It's just pretty cool. I still get excited about even just seeing the line drawings because, that was a long time ago. But just to give you an idea, that one still, even though I don't receive royalties on it and the patent's expired, I'm in the process now of doing the new and improved version of that. But that today, that one right there still sells about 5,000 units a month.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Cool.
And I guess I'll take this as a compliment, but there's probably at least 5 knockoffs on Amazon of it. And the 2 largest brands in the clamp world, international brands, Bessie and Jorgensen Pony, still use that exact same patent to manufacture and sell today through large retailers like Lowe's, Home Depot, and Amazon. Wow. So it's still number 1 in this category and still to this day sells 5,000 units a month. I've been told. I haven't verified that yet, though.
That's awesome. Way to go. Congratulations. That's, making a difference in the world, right?
Yeah, as an inventor, I know it sounds kind of corny, but I do think that's dopamine release. That is to know that you are bringing something into the world that didn't exist, and without the crazy mind that it takes, then these things don't just happen. So it really becomes beyond just, sure, there's a monetary value to it, but it really becomes a passion or a curse, depending on how you want to look at it, of the creativity that it requires and the adversity, right? The amount of failures, because it is. You fail a lot more than you succeed. And just like any other sports or other entertainment, you only see the successes. You don't see all the failures. And there's many more failures than our successes.
I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. And I've seen
so you get it.
Decades of failures. So
championship on the way next year though, right? You get next season.
It's true that a lot of our clients, we end up doing great work getting a heck of a patent for, but making money, it doesn't always happen. And so you found a way to do that. I think Matt, and anybody listening would love to learn and kind of hear what it took to get to that volume. I mean, thousands of units selling. What were the first early wins? Give us some golden nuggets, please.
Yeah. Again, I'll do it kind of as fast as I can.
Sure.
A brief background on kind of how I fell into it. But I do think I think it's important what you're saying is it's one thing to obtain a patent. It's a whole other thing to license it and bring it to market. And I think people get misled. Just because you have a patent, you have this like winning ticket. That's not how it works at all. The first patent that I received, I didn't approach it as an inventor. I was actually a cabinet maker. I took a wood shop in high school. I wasn't a great student. I later found out I had dyslexia. So I don't know if you know anything about dyslexia, but your brain really is seeing things completely different than everybody else. But it turns out that dyslexic brain also sees things in 3 dimensions. And it sees concepts and pictures far greater than the average person. So even though it's frustrating in school, my mind, it was already thinking differently. When I was making I went out of high school, became a cabinet maker to support myself. And when I was making cabinets, I was learning about how the cabinets are put together. And then I moved from that to installing cabinets. And then I went, wow, this is just like Donna. It was a problem. I was frustrated with having to use 3 different clamps to attach the cabinets together. And that's ultimately what I ended up doing. I took 3 clamps, combined them, and then added a drill guide to it. And that's what became that patent. But the reason I was able to license it was because at that time I went from installing cabinets to selling cabinets. And then I was a manufacturer's rep. So I really understood the numbers from the data, right? I knew that many cabinets a year were being made. And when I met with at the time, the CEO of the largest maker in the country at the time, adjustable pony clamp in Chicago.
How'd you get that meeting? You don't just
well, again, that's a whole other, but the fact matter is I got the meeting and I got on a plane and I flew to Chicago and I presented it to him, not as this great idea, but hey, look at this market, every day. Because at that time I was selling cabinets. I wasn't making them or installing them. I was a sales rep, selling a lot of cabinets. I've sold actually close to $500 million worth of cabinets. So I knew the amount of times this clamp could be used. And he was a great guy. And it was hard. It was, he turned me down and it's emotional, right? It's personal because and that took about a year to get that licensing deal done. But I had to sell my idea. And then they actually took it through the patent process. So I didn't have a patent at that time. I really had an idea.
Wow.
Yeah. And
you're lucky that they were fairly honest with you.
Not advisable.
I was very lucky. Thank you, Matt, because that's not how the world is anymore, by the way. The world's changed a lot. Yeah. And so we took it to market. He believed in me, but he believed in my numbers, right? And he believed, and I think the fact that I was a cabinet maker and I really was solving an industry problem was important to them. So that went pretty well. But from there, I think I think I have like 5 patents. No, four patents issued with my name on it. I think 4 of those are I'm the sole inventor. One of them is a co-inventor. So even though I licensed that one, it was doing well, we tried to bring a second one to market. And this point, it was frustrating because that company had their ideas how they wanted to do it. And so basically what I'm saying is there was 3 losers and 1 winner, right? Yeah. And a lot of money spent, a lot of time, and a broken ego too, a few times, right? So that's I'll leave it at that. I can go into more details of how that all played out, but the long and short of it was that company was, I wouldn't say purchased, but that company went out of business because of what was going on in China, and China bought the brand and they moved all the manufacturing and really they bought all the IP and my patent, the one that we're talking about, and both of them were in the transaction, right? The sales transaction. So I ended up in a lawsuit, not a lawsuit. I had to cost me a lot of money to get my patent back because I had licensed it to this company. And then they took all the IP when they bought the company. And this is what makes me appreciate attorneys on a number of levels, right? Fortunately, I had the resources to get it back. And now I just relicensed that one, not the one I'm talking about. This is because there's multiple patents, right? It's a patent portfolio, all related to installing cabinets or different types of cabinets. So hopefully that wasn't too much, but that's
You're persistent. You were open to, hey, I'm going to be going after this. Even if I fail 2-3 times, the next one might hit. So just being dogged about it.
I think it's what I'm catching from you, Jim, is that, at the end of the day, you have this niche knowledge of cabinet building, right? You saw an opportunity.
Yep.
But there was no potentially market for that product because people didn't understand what it was or how it could function as a better improved clamp.
Yeah.
But it seems like you kind of built a market for it by introducing it to that CEO, and then convincing him that there was a market for it and then creating a market for this product.
Yeah, it's I think the language they use is I did create my own category, and that's not easy to do because you're asking somebody to believe or see something that they can't see or doesn't exist. That's very frustrating. And it sounds exciting, but you get a lot of no's by being that's part of the creativity, right? That one worked out. I think my second one is actually going to do way better. It's more of a utility clamp. So it goes beyond just the one problem I was solving. And that's another thing, Matt, I think what you're saying is solve a problem and make sure it's a big, big problem. and then go get an event and then get a good attorney and then start the patent process. But yeah, there you can, I don't know if you could play that, but that's what it does.
For the top, one for
Just
the
a
bottom.
video will show.
Line it all
you
up,
can
and then
explain
when
it
you tighten
if
the
you want.
screws on the side,
You see it kind
it
of
makes
lining it
everything
up,
nice
right?
and
Both
flush.
those
Then
cabinets.
there's little holes that you can pre-drill your screws. Bang, done.
And then drilling
Subscribe for
through.
more videos like this.
Awesome.
Cool.